StudioVision! This is an emulator for the RCA Studio II for the Intellivision. This is on my LTO flash card. It's pretty much got all the RCA Studio II games on it. And there's a podcast coming out here really soon called the RCA Studio II Game by Game Podcast, done by HDN over on Atari.io. I'm looking forward to this podcast to hear about what they talk about, because I owned an RCA Studio II growing up. I actually liked the system quite a bit. I played it a lot. I had it hooked up to its own black and white TV in my room next to my Fairchild Channel F. I had it hooked to a color TV. And I played this game. I played these games quite a bit on the RCA Studio II. I mean, they're really basic games, but they had a charm to them that I really liked. And they're easy games, which, I'm all about easy games because I can't play games worth a darn. But one of the games that HDN is going to talk about on the podcast is Freeway, which is a vertical racing game. Kind of reminds me of a video version of Mattel's Auto Race that I really love. So let's go ahead and give the game a try. I believe it's game number 4 on the Studio II. Yep, it is. So as soon as we hit 0, the game will start. I can speed up and slow down using the 2 and 8 buttons on the keypad. And I can steer right and left using the 4 and 6. Very basic controls. A lot of fun to play though. Let's see how many cars I can pass. Typically I get anywhere between 32 to 38 cars usually when I play this game. Gotta get sped up here. We gotta avoid the other cars and not get hit. Oh, that's gonna mess me up. Now the cars only go in a certain pattern, so once you figure out the pattern, they're pretty easy to avoid. Except for me. Oh, I crashed again. I'm not gonna do very well. You have 2 minutes to see how many cars you can pass. Come on, get by him, get by him, get by him. There we go. Woo. Now I remember when I first got my Studio II, my dad actually had one sent to him at his place of work from RCA to set up in the shop as a demo unit, because they were going to sell them at the place where he worked. It's the place he worked at. They repaired TVs and stoves, refrigerators. They were major appliances repair shop. He did a lot of warranty work as well for Magnavox and RCA and some of the other TV manufacturers back then. But he got this thing in. He decided to bring it home and let me mess with it to see what I thought of it before he set it up as a demo. And he actually had to buy one to use in the demo kiosk because I wouldn't turn loose of this thing. And this is one of the games I played quite a bit on the system, was the Freeway game. I also like playing bowling. I can't wait till HDN covers bowling on the podcast, because I played bowling on this thing a lot. But Speedway was a pretty fun game. And again, it's very basic, but for, back in the 70s, even though this came out after the Fairchild Channel F and stuff, we had the collar games already, and I don't know what RCA was thinking they could make something out of this, especially with just keyboard controls, no controllers. But it was kind of nice to have 5 built-in games. Oh look, 37 cars. It's not typical of what I get. Had I not crashed, I might have gotten 38. But this is a really, really fun little system to play. I don't have my original anymore. I sold it off years and years ago. I did do a dedicated video on the RCA Studio II because I borrowed the one from Rick Reynolds when he had a multi-cart for it. And I went through all the games in an earlier video. But anyway, I'll put a link to that video down below. And I'll put a link to this new podcast being put out on the RCA Studio II as well. So you go to the webpage and save it. And when they drop the first episode, you can check it out. I'm really looking forward to listening to the podcast because I have an interest in the RCA Studio II. I keep wanting to say Odyssey 2 for some reason. I get it mixed in my head. Anyway, thanks for watching.